for all of you, just going into the overtime period, what was said, what was kind of the focal point? It looked like you guys turned it on a little bit to eke this one out.
Yeah, I think we just realized it was winning time, obviously, and we had another opportunity to be able to walk out of here, winning game one, and I think everybody locked in, and we were able to do it.
Sandy, is there any immediate update on Breanna?
No, we only just got back to the locker room. I'm sure she'll be evaluated soon.
Sabrina, how much do you think experience kind of took over in that overtime period?
A lot. I think we looked around and kind of realized we'd kind of been in that position before with the majority of us. Just understanding how important overtime is and knowing we had another gear to get to. And, I'm really just proud of the way that we stuck together. We weathered the runs that they went on and ultimately found a way to win.
Sandy, you kind of knew that this was going to be a slugfest coming in or blow by blow, but just what did you think about the way that the game went down today?
Yeah, very physical game. It was really hard to get from A to B, but in the end, I think just our resiliency paid off and a little, like you said, a bit of our experience, and we just made some shots. But I thought defensively, we hung our hat on that, which is what we have to in the playoffs, and we rebounded really well. So 2 good things that we worked on going into this game.
For Coach, Natasha Cloud had a big game for you guys tonight. Obviously, she was with the Mercury a season ago. Do you think that had any, extra motivation or maybe helped her at all in this one?
Yeah, it's a question you'd probably have to ask her. I'm sure it did. She's been this is her old team, but she's with New York Liberty now, and I think that was just she knows what she needs to do to come out to help us win, and she was massive tonight at both ends of the floor. She had to guard Copper down the other end, but she made some really timely shots and she controlled the game for us.
Greg Moore, Arizona Republic. Coach, I was looking at you guys' three-point percentage, and I was just curious how important was it for you guys to be able to make open jump shots and just hit the stuff that was there in front of you?
Yeah, we probably missed a few that we'd like to make in that first half in particular and in the second half. But we got 33 up here. We made 10. We're a great 3-point shooting team, as are they. I think that's where it came down to. We made a few more than them, and Leonie Fiebich, none bigger than that 3 in overtime.
Hey guys, it's good to see you. It's Aya Abdeen for the 9450. Congrats on the win. I would like to ask about Leonie Fiebich's contributions, and especially that dagger in game 1 that she hit. I'm just curious to know, what are your impressions of that?
Yeah, it was huge. It's funny. She had missed some early on, and I knew she was going to hit the biggest one of the night. It's just what she does, and she hit, that baseline back cut for a layup right before and then came down and hit a 3, and she's one of the best 3-point shooters in the world, and we know that. We continue to believe in her. She continues to believe in herself, put in the work, but, that was the biggest shot of the night that she hit and kind of just solidified us winning this game.
Over here in the back, Ellie Abgabai, Sports 360 AZ. This one's for Jonquel. Down the stretch, how much of a point of emphasis was it for you to establish that inside on both sides to really push this one through over the line?
Yeah, they were, attacking the basket a good bit, so I just wanted to be able to protect the rim, and then, use my rebounding to be able to help us close out possessions, and ultimately win. So it was extremely important, but altogether it was just a really great team effort. We got one, now we got to go back to New York and get the second one.
Hey, y'all, for Coach Brondello. So throughout the regular season series, we talked a lot about the cross-matching and the switching and things like that between both teams. We saw more Jonquel on Alyssa Thomas than I feel like we did in the regular season series. I was just curious what kind of goes into that type of decision, and how long do you stick with something before you kind of adjust, or, how do you kind of feel that out?
Yeah, look, we're human-driven, data-informed, so we kind of know with the experiences that we've had in these 4 games what works, and with the luxury of having JJ and Breanna Stewart out there, being able to show AT some different looks, but it's, we had to work out what we wanted to give up, and I thought they did a great job.
Sabrina, Dana Scott, Arizona Republic. In the last 7:37 and in the fourth quarter and also in overtime, McConney held you scoreless. And what adjustments did you have to make in order to get through and pass by that disruption that she caused to you?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is I'm not just a scorer, and I was able to continue to facilitate and find ways to help us win, through my facilitating. And I think that's something I've always been able to, hang my hat on, is knowing the gravity that I have with the ball in my hands as a scorer, but most importantly as a passer, and continuing to find different angles and what they were doing, how aggressive they were being, with me as a pick and roll player. And I think the great thing about a series is you kind of can learn, you watch the film, you make the adjustments needed, and you have to come back in a few days and try and win again.
Jonquel, Hayden Silva with Clutch Points. First off, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So everybody talks about the mental fatigue of the playoffs, but I'm just curious about the physical fatigue, especially in a game like this where a lot of fouls are being called. There's a lot of bodies in the paint. Just how do you guys sort of stay physically ready throughout a game like this where it is as physical as it is?
I mean, you get treatment. You understand that that's just the nature of the playoffs, and that physicality is just how it's going to be. It's going to be really turned up from another level from the regular season. And I think experience kind of helps us out in that aspect as well, because we're used to it and we understand what it took last year to be able to go the distance. So, that's just the nature of the playoffs.
Hey, Sandy Barry Jones from Sportico. With your experience, now you go into game 2, you got really a massive advantage going home to wrap up the 3-game series. How do you not let that overwhelm you and basically just look at it like any other game? Because you don't have to win this game, but you want to.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, we know what situation we're at. We have the advantage. We went on a away game and we won on their home court. Now the advantage is for us to take care of it. And this, like you said, it is an experienced team. We've been here before and we know what our goal is. And, we want to keep playing.
We'll go over to Zoom, starting with Ben.
Thanks, Brian. Tasha's 9 field goals that she made tonight is the most she's made since coming to the Liberty. How have you seen her game on offense develop from the start of training camp to eventually culminate in the performance tonight?
Yeah. Look, Tasha's been good for us. We know she has the ability to get downhill. I thought she did a great job of that. But I think where she's grown this year is just really being steady, and when they're going under, which every team does, is being ready to shoot that 3-ball. And she's been shooting the 3-ball extremely well lately. So it's a luxury we have. We obviously have Sabrina as a handler. We have, Tash as a handler. We can have Stewie as a handler. I think that helps. But, yeah, Tash was big. She got downhill. Was great for us, and with confidence too, and that's what we want, because it's hard to. It was a physical game today. I'm quite surprised we only had 9 free throws there. Very physical game, but I think she had the advantages, and we're trying to look for her.
Jackie?
Hi, JJ, for you, there was talk about how much the defense was going to play a role in this series. I guess just what do you think worked the best defensively, and how would you assess how connected the group was on defense?
What I think worked the best? I think we just were all on the same page, and I think you just alluded to it, but the connection was probably the most important thing, of rotating, helping each other, understanding what the schemes are for the game, and just going out there and executing. But I think we did a really good job, and now we got to go to New York and take it up to another level.
And Sabrina, if you could take us through sort of how you were able to keep your composure after Stewie went down, and you were able to find Leo on that backdoor cut, which was critical. Like, what were you seeing on that play?
I think just trying to be in the moment and understand what they were doing defensively, and, it was kind of sending whoever at the ball, and I knew, they were going to kind of, I had an angle to attack downhill and knew the defenders were going to be watching the ball, and so I knew that it'd be a perfect opportunity to get Leo on a back cut. She read it perfectly, timed it perfectly, but I think kind of what I alluded to earlier, obviously scoring's great, but I think continuing to find different ways to attack defenses and kind of keeping them on their toes is something we've gotten really good at, and you can't really go into a series, especially in the playoffs, like premeditated on what it is you want to do. It's just whatever it takes for the team to win, that's what you do. And, for me, it was being able to hit her on that back door, which was huge, and, props to her for staying ready.
Kendra?
Thank you. Kendra Andrews, ESPN. Sandy, I'm curious of any conversations that you may have had with Stewie initially after the injury. I know she came back in, played a little bit. She looked quite a bit in pain, at least from through the TV screen, and then you took her out. What can you share with us about just any check-in that you did have with her in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, she asked me to sub her out there, and she looked uncomfortable, so that was the reason we took her out there. And then we're just, we'll just be hoping that she'll be okay.
Thank you.
We'll finish with Fifi.
Hey Sandy, from the start, JJ was on Thomas at the point of attack. With JJ out the paint, there was open opportunities for cutters on the back end. Is just that something you know that you're going to have to deal with if JJ is away from the basket?
Yeah, no, 100%. But JJ, she defends everyone everywhere and does such a good job. But everyone has to be aware about what's their, know your personnel, what they want to do off the ball. I mean, Alyssa had the ball in the middle a lot, and they've got so many different options out of it. For the most part, I thought we did really well to keep this team to 69 points. I mean, that's in an overtime game. Defense was really strong for us today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Sabrina,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
if I can, Sabrina, real quick, you were in the paint when Alyssa Thomas had that looked like an open layup and she missed it. Just take us through that sequence. What's going through your mind as the shot was going up?
Yeah, obviously followed it, just like watched it go up, and it looked long to me. So I was just trying to kind of get a tip out and make sure she didn't kind of get another one. And obviously we had a great defensive presence inside to be able to just alter like an easy pass, an easy layup. And you got to just play till the final buzzer. And so that's what we did tonight.